Hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial for you. And today I'm going to show you how to crochet this super lovely lacy stitch that I decided to make into a scarf. And I was recently introduced to this yarn by Knit Picks. It's a Mighty Stitch yarn. It's a worsted weight in the colorway of Fairy Tale. Absolutely love it. No, I'm not sponsored, but I was given this and I thought, you know, what better way than to make use of it by getting right in there. And the pattern did not have an actual name. It was a schematic, like so many of them that I come across, but I thought a very fitting name would be the Mayflower Trellis Stitch. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. It's really easy. For this, I used a size H hook, although I'm going to be using some other yarn and a size I crochet hook. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I have my size I crochet hook and I'm using some worsted weight yarn. This is some Red Heart Super Saver that I had. You know me, this is one of my staples, one of my go-tos, you know? So we're going to start with our slip knot, and like so many of these, this is a multiple plus a number. So in this case, it's a multiple of 4 plus 3. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I've got 16 stitches because it's a multiple of 4. And then we have to add 3 to that multiple of 4. All right. And you can do as many multiples of 4 as you so wish. You know, just for the sake of this swatch, I kept it at 16 plus my adding of 3. Okay? So, for row 1, into the 5th chain from the hook, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So, 1, 2, 3, okay. So into the 5th chain from the hook, do a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet. All right. And then you're going to skip the next 3 chains, and then you're going to do the same thing. So going into the 4th chain, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right in there, with a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet into that same stitch. See, we're creating our foundations there. Okay, so then we do that again. We skip the next 3 chains going into the 4th. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Into that 4th with a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet into that same stitch. And we're going to do that again. Into the 4th chain, all right, with a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet. And you would just keep doing this until you reach the last 2 chains, and then you're going to do a double crochet into the last chain. It doesn't matter how many of these archways you have, just as long as you have 2 chains at the end of it and you do a double crochet into the last chain. All right, so that is the end of row 1. Alrighty, so for row 2, we're going to start by chaining up of 3. We turn the work, and then into this chain 3 space, we're going to do 4 double crochets, basic cluster going on here. Okay, and then chain 1, and then into the next chain 3 space, do another cluster of 4 double crochets, chain 1, and then into the next chain space, do another cluster of 4, okay, chain 1, do another cluster of 4 into the chain space, alrighty, and then to finish up row 2, we're going to do another double crochet into the top of this chain here. Excuse me. The top of the chain 3. So it's right into here. Be a little tricky to see. There we are. And there you go. So that is the end of row 2. Alrighty, so for row 3, we're going to start by chaining up 4 because we need to start with a double crochet plus a chain 1. So, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the work. And then into this first stitch, do a double crochet. So as you can see, we have the equivalent to a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet. So this is, in essence, half of one of these arches right here. And you'll see what I mean because these clusters are offset. They're staggered. They don't go in columns, and that's what I really like about this pattern is the asymmetrical nature of it. All right, so we did that. And then into this chain 1 space, we're going to do another double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, similar to what we did down in here. We're creating that offset framework. So double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. All right, then going immediately into the next chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, into the next chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. Okay, and because we had half of an arch on this side, we're going to need half of an arch on the other side. So to do that, we're going to do a double crochet into the third chain of this first double crochet. So right into here, right there. We're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet into that same stitch. Like so. So you can see that we had the initial framework of arches here, 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 and here, and now we have arches on the very edges and 3 in the middle, so it's offset. All right, so that is the end of row 3. All right, so for row 4, we're going to start by chaining up a 3. Turn the work, and then into this first space, do 2 double crochets. Like so, because this is going to be half of one of our clusters. All right, then chain 1, then into this chain space, do 4 double crochets for a full cluster. Chain 1, then do a full cluster into the next chain 3 space. Also, this would look lovely as a blanket or a wrap as well, but I wanted to do something nice and simple, so I decided to do a scarf. So I chained 1 at the end of my cluster here, and then do another 4 doubles into this chain 3 space. Alrighty. Then chain 1, and we're at the tail end of row 4. So what we need to do into this half space here, because this is a full space, so into this half space, we're going to create the symmetry because we needed 2 doubles and then an end chain, right? So we're going to do 2 doubles into that chain space. Now, technically speaking, yes, you could always just do a third. However, I think it looks nicer to go just a little bit on the extra mile and do the double crochet into the 3rd chain from the bottom. So 1, 2, and 3. You know, yes, you can use shortcuts, and no, you may not notice. However, I think it looks just a little bit nicer. All right, and so that, my dears, is the end of row 4. Now, as you can see, we have a nice staggering going on here with a bit of a trellis in between. All right, so as you can see why I decided to name it the Mayflower Trellis, because it's sort of like flowers climbing up a trellis, and just thought it was nice. Anyway, so on to row 5. All right, so for row 5, we're going to be doing something very similar to where we first started. So we're going to chain 3, turn the work, and then we are going to immediately go into this first chain space with a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. Sort of like when we started by going into the 5th chain from the hook. Same difference. See, that's where we started. So, same difference, right? So then into the next chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet. Next chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet into the same, the same chain space, pardon me. Okay, once more, do a double crochet into the next chain space, chain 3, and another double crochet. And then, to finish it off, we need to go across these 3, and so into the third chain, the top chain of this third double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet. If I can get in there. There we go. Ta-da! All right, so that is the full 5 rows, and so I'm going to show you a full repeat of rows 2 through 5 because that is the repeat for the pattern. Okie dokie. All right, so I'll be right back, and then we'll do a full repeat, and we'll be good to go. All right, so for the full repeat, it would be starting off with a chaining of 3. This is the equivalent to row 2, so chaining 3, turn the work, and then into the chain 3 space, do 4 doubles. And because this is a 4-row repeat, it's really not going to be that long before you get the hang of it, I promise you. So we did the 4 doubles, chain 1, 4 doubles in the next chain 3 space. And also I found myself looking at the piece itself to see what kind of row I needed to do next. And I'll show you what I mean. So I did my 4 doubles, chain 1, 4 doubles into the next chain 3 space. You know, any trick or tip that I can share with you, I'm always only too happy to do so, because any trick worth having is a trick worth sharing. All right, so it's just going across with your chain 1, 4 double crochets, chain 1, 4 double crochets, always into that chain 3 space. All right, so we've got our 4 doubles there. All right, and then into the very end, into the top of this chain 3, do a double crochet, like so. All right, so that's the end of row 2. All right, so for row 3, what we're going to need to do is, all right, as you can see, this is our row 2 in essence, so we need this half arch space right up here. So that means that we need to chain up 4. Turn the work, and then into that first double, we do a double crochet. And then into the chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet to create our arches. And then go into the next chain 1 space with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. into the next chain 1 space with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And then for symmetry, we have to end with another half archway space. So that would be into the top of this chain. It's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So double, chain 1, double into that same stitch. All right. And then for row 4, we're going to chain up 3 because, actually let me pull that out for a second, because, our last row was the half arch. So if we look down here, we see another half arch. So chaining up of 3 and then 2 doubles into that half arch space. So after a while, you can just, if you're lost, very simply just look at your work from previous rows, and it's very easy to see where you need to be. And that trick helps me endlessly. So chaining up of 3, turn the work into that space, do 2 doubles, anything to demystify what we do, right? So I did the 2 doubles, a chain 1, and then into the next chain 3 space here, we do 4 doubles. Excuse me. Okay, chain 1, 4 doubles into the next chain 3 space. Okay, chain 1, 4 doubles into the next chain 3 space. Chain 1, and then into this half archway space, do 2 doubles. And then do your last double crochet into the 3rd chain from the bottom. Gives it a nice clean edge, I find. There we are. All right. And then we're going to do the repeat of row 5. So that's going to be a chaining up of 3. Turn the work, and then immediately into the chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, because again, I know I keep doing this, but I'm trying to be thorough. Okay, so as you can see, our previous row, we ended on the 3 doubles, right? Well, we have our 3 doubles here. So this is our chain 3, and then immediately going into this space with an arch. All right, so we have our arch, and then immediately going into the next chain 1 space with another arch. So it's a double, chain 3, and another, double. Into the next chain 1 space with a double, chain 3 and a double. Next chain 1 space with a double, chain 3, and a double. And then do a double crochet into the third chain of this last double crochet right here. There we go. All right, and that is 2 full repeats of the pattern, and I love this one. This is a great one. And again, thanks to my friend for giving me this lovely yarn, which I absolutely adore, and inspiring me to try yet another fresh new pattern that I hope that you all really, really liked, because you know I did. So listen, if you found this tutorial helpful, and I hope you did, please hit the thumbs up button, because your support means the world to me, as always. And if you have any questions, comments, what have you, please do so in the comment section down below. Love hearing from you guys, as always. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do, because I try to post videos as often as I can, because this is my passion and this is what I love. And I love you guys. So listen, until the next video, I want you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.